So in this video, I'm going to cover how to scale your B2B SaaS to 100K per month so fast that it feels illegal. About 1.5 months ago, I turned 25. And that's when I realized that time is our most valuable asset that we can have in this lifetime. You can always have more money, but you can never get time back. So you really need time in order to spend time with the people that we love and also doing the things that we like. Down here, I have attached the leverage pyramid. As you can see, there's a couple of things that we can have in terms of having leverage over our life and over our business. There's code leverage, there's content leverage, capital, and then also labor. With code, it's more so that you have a software or you have an automation that replaces a lot of your current manual workflows. With content, you could pitch one to many. So if you have a big audience on YouTube, you could pitch one time, make a YouTube video just like this. You can have 1,000 people or 2,000 people subscribing to your software. Capital leverage is more so the VC-backed leverage, and also labor leverage is essentially just growing your team and having duplicates of yourself in every single aspect of your business. So why do SaaS companies even raise money? The main reason that software companies and SaaS companies raise money is to hire talent they currently can't afford. If a really cracked software engineer comes from OpenAI or Meta or Google, they're used to making 300K or 400K per year. And how can we really leverage that and hire those talent, even though our software is at 10K per month, right? So we need that capital leverage in order to hire those people. However, one thing is, I think the most important leverage is actually on labor, code, and content. Capital is actually not that important once you crack paid ads and you can liquidate all your ad spend and get that second, third, fourth, fifth client with your revenue. It doesn't really matter for capital. I think a lot of people are stuck in this rat race of trying to raise capital, but then they're just saving that money in a bank or not using that capital to leverage and scale up their company. So the most important, in my opinion, are these three: code, content, and labor. So how can we really leverage and hire in order to hit that 100K per month mark or $1 million per month mark? So a couple things that we did at my software company is the first hire that you need to make is your admin work. So these are day-to-day nuances, whether you're having to manage your cold emails or you're having to do some manual labor in terms of filling out spreadsheets. One thing we can do is just hire this out to overseas virtual assistant that can handle replies in terms of having the replies go to a CRM or handling any of the instantly AI cold email setups. After that, what we need to do is handle the appointment setter. So let's say you're running paid ads, you have a bunch of people coming in, but we need to book them on appointments if they haven't already self-booked themselves. So you need an appointment setter that calls up the leads and books them onto your calendar. After that, and later in this video, I'm going to cover how we're actually been able to hire 3 or 4 employees in the past week and a half. And we'll cover that in the video as well. So do not worry. And for our closers, what we're going to get into is basically a lot of people think that founder-led sales is very important in the beginning. Founder-led sales is only important if you don't have product market fit and you don't even know if a tool you have is valuable for your customers. So in reality, a lot of the arguments is closers can't close as high as the founder in terms of closing rates because, they don't know the product as much as the founder. But in reality, you're very leveraged if you have a sales team because you basically duplicate yourself. You train all of them up on a daily sales sync, and then they can go out and take all those calls that you currently can't have. Right now, we're probably taking anywhere from 10 to 20 calls per day with 2 different closers. So in reality, if I were to take 20 calls per day, I'll probably be burnt out after maybe 3 days or so. So you're very leveraged in that way. So even if the closing rate were to drop 50% and we're still profitable, I'll still do that every single time over me having to take all the founder-led sales calls and then not being able to crack the funnels or ads or handle all of the other operations in the business. After that, another thing that you outsource is basically operations. So this is essentially all the automations in your business, different communication sources in terms of like client to your current company communication, basically how your company operates. We could really just have a COO in place or just having an ops or automation specialist in your company. After that, one thing that's very hard to hire out is definitely development. If you make the bad hire, your whole SaaS company can go bankrupt or a game-changing bug that crashes is very detrimental to your company. So development is very hard to hire. But nowadays with like Cursor and AI code developers, it's a lot more leverage than before when I first started my software company. The last thing to hire out is definitely the executive role. So whether it's like VP of sales, CFO, COO, CTO, CEO, all of that is the last thing you should even worry about hiring out. So how can we really hire talent? So I'm going to go straight into my Facebook ads on how we actually were able to source closers to our B2B SaaS company and how we've been able to onboard them and train them up. And I'll show the entire SOP of how we're able to train up our closers, for example, but we also do this with media buyers, the people that handle our ads, and also our appointment setters and admin work as well. So as you can see here, here's one of our ads we're running in order to actually hire a closer from Canada. And one thing is we're hiring remote high ticket closer ASAP. We basically tell them it's a SaaS plus info offer. You have 5 to 8 sales calls for remote and what the OTE is. And basically it's a lead form and you can apply it down below. This goes directly into our Go High Level CRM. So afterwards, what you need to do is essentially we need to create an SOP for every single role. So I'll go ahead and show you what meme/admin work/content team does and what the SOP kind of looks like. So here is my SOP for meme sourcing for contractors. So essentially our goal here is to grow our Instagram organic accounts to just get more eyeballs. So whenever we do, we have an audience and we could direct them directly to a booking link, or we could pitch them in the future. So I have a Loom description that basically explains how we're going to be able to handle all of the people, that overviews what the SOP looks like and basically gives them a rundown of how their day-to-day tasks look like. So we have step-by-step instructions. So usually how I break it out is task description, video description, step-by-step instructions, training, examples, and then also other important links and information. And all of that, at the end of the day, we have a daily report where the customers can report on everything. This was a really quick video, so if you're interested in joining a group of B2B SaaS owners, online businesses, just like the ones I described in the video, go ahead and click the school community. It's completely free. I have nothing to sell. To go ahead and join that, and we'll have group weekly calls where you could just share insights, and I'll see you there in the school community and also see you in the next video. Catch you later.